Every year in South Africa, there's about 10,000 babies who's abandoned. Many of them don't survive, and we also don't know about many others. At Pizo, we take care of 12 babies from newly born up until 2 years old, and we act as a temporary safe care facility. Pizo is part of a greater network in South Africa called the AFM Welfare Council, who has many similar houses across the country. In these houses, there's about 470 children. About 70 have been adopted in the past year, 36 placed into foster care, and about 63 who has been reunited with their families. Pizo acts as a place of temporary safety where we look after the daily needs of the 12 babies in our care. We work with partners like social workers in the city to reunite these babies with their family. That is always the first and primary goal. If that is not possible, social workers will work to either place them into foster care, adoption, or into houses for older kids.
Our dream at Pizo is not only to create a safe environment for these babies to be in, but also to look after their holistic development. The first 2 years of a child's life is a very vulnerable stage. Just think about something like physical development. They need sufficient sleep and nutrition. They need to reach milestones as they grow in their maturity. Just think about the emotional development of a child. The first year of a child's life is all about trusting their environment and the caregivers that look after them. Otherwise, that child would grow up with a sense of suspicion and fear of the future. In the second year of a child's life, the sense of self-control and adequacy is very important. Otherwise, the kid would grow up with a sense of shame and self-doubt. So as a child leaves Pizo, we would love for them to be on par with their development emotionally and physically. One of the success stories this year was about a little girl who was left at a hospital by her birth mother, who signed her off to a social worker. She was placed within our care at Pizo for 4 months, whilst the social worker connected her to a family who adopted her and took care of her. She was behind on some of the developmental milestones, and with a lot of love and care, she got to a place now where she's up to par with that and in a safe family who would look after her. As we see the need in our city with regards to abandoned babies, as a church, we want to look to them with a heart of compassion, to bring them in a safe environment, to take care of them for a time. I want to ask you to be part of this in the next year. Won't you consider it to contribute to our Generocity Fund as we see God's love extended to these kids in our city? We have a few things that we're trusting God for in the next year in our Pizo home. We want to see a team of volunteers raised to come and serve at the house. We want to see the house being upgraded in terms of internal heating. We want to take the next steps with a playground for the kids, but we also want to be better stewards with regards to the management of that house, so that we can also play a part in influencing the social development sphere of our city and our country. Come with us on this journey as we see these kids being restored to everything that God has intended for them.